face a few times, and when he fell, I wrapped a cord around his neck and I took his life.
Inmates in prison are often subjected to violence and abuse. But what happens when an inmate murders their cellmate? In this video, we'll take a look at 5 insane prisoners who murdered their cellmates and their reactions to being sentenced to life in prison. Number 5. Julio Cesar Garza. Julio Cesar Garza, already serving a sentence ranging from 5 years to life for violent robbery, assaulted his cellmate for over 7 minutes, inflicting injuries comparable to being run over by a car. The victim, Carlos Adrian Javier Hernandez, was convicted of raping and murdering a 15-year-old girl and sentenced to 15 years in prison. Garza expressed remorse at the sentencing, stating that he didn't intend to take Hernandez's life and regretted his actions. Despite testimonies emphasizing Garza's qualities as a father and his difficult past, the court determined that the aggravating factors of the offense outweighed the reasons behind Garza's actions. 6th District Judge Wallace Lee imposed a life sentence without the possibility of release, considering the crime's brutality and Garza's additional violent acts in prison. Number 4. Shane Goldstein. Shane Goldstein, a 26-year-old prisoner from Washington State, received a new 25-year jail sentence after killing Robert Munger, a 70-year-old convicted child sex abuser who had assaulted Goldstein's sister. Munger had spent 43 years in prison for his crimes, reportedly striking him 14 times in the face and stepping on his head multiple times. In a statement delivered by his lawyer, Goldstein expressed remorse to Munger's family, acknowledging the pain caused by his actions and offering a heartfelt apology.
I cannot imagine what it would be like to lose a loved one in this kind of way. To his wife and his whole family, I apologize. I'm so sorry, and I hope you all will be able to heal from what I've caused.
Following his guilty plea to second-degree murder, Shane Goldstein was sentenced to 25 years in prison. Number 3. Steven Sanderson. Steven Sanderson, age 51, pleaded guilty to second-degree murder for killing his prison cellmate Dyer, age 67, who was serving a 25-year sentence for sexual offenses against a child. Sanderson, already serving a life sentence without parole for killing his girlfriend in 1991, confessed to law enforcement that he attacked Dyer after confronting him about his sentence. He strangled Dyer with his own shoelaces after knocking him out. Sanderson denies being a hero, expressing remorse only for his family.
Since this all happened, it's kind of been, people think I'm some kind of hero. Well, I'm actually not. I just, did what I thought was best in the time that I was given. I don't know, I've been getting these emails saying that, it's not my position to judge anybody. And I want to make it quite clear that I didn't judge him. I know God is the only judge we have. I've just set the appointment up. So, I don't feel bad for what I did, I feel bad for maybe the families, his family or something. But as far as remorse towards him, no.
The court handed down a life sentence with the possibility of parole. Number 2. Patrick Schroeder. Patrick Schroeder, already serving a life sentence for the 2006 murder of a 75-year-old farmer, committed another heinous crime in 2017 while being incarcerated. He strangled Terry Berry, a 22-year-old inmate, in their cell at the Tecumseh State Correctional Institution. Berry had only 2 weeks left on his sentence, and Schroeder admitted to the killing, citing Berry's constant chatter during their shared television time as the motive. Patrick Schroeder willingly accepted the death penalty after Judge Vicki Johnson questioned him about the crime.
The fact that the defendant expressly welcomes a death sentence has not been considered by the panel. It is the law and not the defendant's wishes that compels this panel's ultimate conclusion.
He eventually took his own life by hanging himself with a sheet. Schroeder's case highlights the severe consequences of his violent actions and the complexities of the legal system in dealing with such extreme cases. Number 1. Jaime Asuna. A convicted murderer from Bakersfield, California, gained notoriety for his alleged crimes. Known for claiming to be a follower of Satan, Asuna became widely covered in the media after the killings of Yvette Peña and his cellmate Luis Romero. Luis Romero, who had been imprisoned since the age of 17 for second-degree murder, had served 27 years of his sentence before being transferred to Corcoran State Prison. Shockingly, prison authorities placed Asuna in the same cell as Romero, despite Asuna being without a cellmate since his arrival. Tragically, on March 9, 2019, Romero's dismembered body was discovered by guards. Asuna had gruesomely mutilated Romero, cutting his fingers, eyes, lung, and removing his ribs. Disturbingly, he even removed Romero's skull and sliced both sides of his face, giving him a grotesque smile. To add to the horror, Asuna fashioned a necklace out of pieces of Romero's body. These cases are all unique, but they all share one thing in common. The inmates involved all made a terrible mistake. If you're interested in learning more about these cases, or if you'd like to learn more about prison violence, please leave a comment below.